So, hold up. Man, you should set up. Um, I can, I'll look like it's, I'm gonna try to explain. I feel like it's gonna be a bit like in depth, but I'm gonna try to keep it as concise as possible. So, my computer is connected to my main interface, which is the Apollo X16, which is connected to these two right here, which is a satellite. All it does is add more DSP, and the Apollo is feeding my. Can I zoom in? Oh, technology. It's connected to my headphone amplifier, which powers my headphones. And that's why I have them. It's kind of redundant, but whatever. So the X16 is then sending 16 channels out to the summing mixer. So usually I have my melodies going here. I got my drums going here. My drum parallels going here. 808s going here. If the 808 is mono, I just make channel 7 or 8 mono by putting it in the middle. If it's not, I'm gonna just spread them like that. And then I have this whole bottom row for vocals, so lead, background, ad-libs, effects, return, whatever. And all that is being sent to either mix bus 1 or 2. So I don't really use 2 at all. I only use like 1 mix bus because that output is directly patched into the API EQ. I can't really like this thing, my phone's attached to this thing, so I can't really like make it go all the way over there. But the EQ is going into the Rupert Neve Portico 2 master bus processor. That's a whole mouthful, but that's what's going on. And that is going into a Zeburl, which is A to D converter. It pretty much converts the analog signal to digital so my computer can read it again. And what I like about it is that you can hit it super hard, kind of like a tape machine. And with that knob over there, that one over there, you can kind of like turn it down so that you're not clipping the input of your computer, but you can still hit it super hard. So I can go all the way up in the red and it still sounds super, super clean. And my converter is kind of just doing its thing, and my computer is just doing its thing, and everyone's happy. You know what I mean? So my speakers are plugged into the X16, and the Shelford, which I'm using for my vocal right now, is hard patched into channel 9. So if I want to use the Shelford, I can pretty much use it as a plugin by just clicking that thing, which I should not do right now because it's like actually patched into it. Just put it in mono, and then I can pretty much use it as a plugin. And if I get more gear, I can do the same with all these other channels, which is pretty dope. So that's kind of the setup. When I'm making beats instead of mixing, I am not using all 16 channels. I'm only using 1 and 2, those two, and it's pretty it's pretty dope because I can kind of hit it hard. So I'll run it really quickly so you can kind of see what I'm saying. So I can like push it more, and it still sounds fine. So that's what I like about it, because you can hit it super hard, get some clipping going on, and it still sounds good, which is every producer's dream, you know, just like getting things loud, making sure that it sounds good, and it's done. I don't really have to do too much when it comes back in. Yeah, so for anyone wondering why it's sounding so clean, it's because of this little thing. Hold on, let me make it simpler. Look, this thing. Zoom out. So this thing, like, I'm getting the output from my Apollo into here. My mic is being plugged into there. And then my headphones are here so I can hear what you guys are hearing. So it's all pretty sweet. You know what I'm saying? I feel like most people are at work. What are you guys doing? Are you guys making money? I'm just playing. But seriously, I feel like most people are at work right now, including me. I'm working right now. It's just that, like, my paycheck comes in a little later, you know. Yeah. All right, cool. All right, fine. I'll play some beats and then I'll do like a little breakdown. You let me know. But all right, cool. So I'm gonna reposition this camera and point it at the screen. That was a super fail because the little cable is not allowing me to do this. But whatever, I'm gonna just point it at the screen instead, you know, so you can at least see that. I'm not gonna be able to see you guys' questions, so just a heads up. Oh, that sucks. I have to like reload the project because these plugins stop working if I keep it open for too long. Why? I don't know. Ask them. Just gotta reload it. Yup. Everyone deals with these fucking situations. Sorry, excuse my I'm trying not to swear anymore. Everyone deals with those situations. Wow, questions. What's that? What kind of questions are being asked? How much was my royalty check from Antidote? Come on, man. That's not a nice. That's not a professional question. It was $5. Man, look, you guys can ask me questions. Just ask nice questions, you know? Like, how are you today? And that's, alright, let's see if this works now. Yep. I just gotta turn it down a little bit. There you go. Guys get the point. It's hi-hats with kicks and snares, 808s and a sample. Easier. right, so if anybody has questions, you may ask them, and I'll try my best to answer them. And like, if I have to, I'll do a little bit of a handheld situation. Is it always necessary to EQ and compress all the sounds? No, no. I try to do as much leveling as I can at first in order to avoid having to do any EQ or compression, because it's not always necessary. Like, you should add compression if your sound is too dynamic, emphasis on too, because if it's dynamic but not too dynamic, leave it alone. Like, the less you do, the more natural things sound. So and EQ, you only need EQ if you need to EQ something. That's kind of like, it sounds really stupid, but it's so true. Like, you only need to use EQ if you need to EQ something. Like, if there's a certain frequency poking out of something and it's bothering you, then you grab an EQ and you get rid of it. Or if you want more of something, you would usually use like a Pultec or like a SSO, like any EQ that adds like character. Do you stereo separate 808s to help with clarity in the mix? No. So it's a common misconception that you need to like separating 808s, like that's I don't stereo separate them. I keep 808s as mono as I can, because they sound the most powerful in mono. So you don't, like, if you want to separate them, do that with the harmonics, and that's like more the upper mids, if that makes sense. I don't know if this live stays up after it's done, so be in the present with me. I like the present, as you guys probably already know. My laptop is an MSI Raider GE76. I completely did that off the top of my head, so I hope that's correct. But I love her. Her name is Melody, and if you guys haven't been introduced yet, she's very shy, but she does pretty well. My beat sound is good because of this little thing. It's like a little audio interface for your phone. So what do I use Black Box for? I use Black Box for drums, 808s, and mix bus. It's on this mix bus here. Yeah. Do I use parallel compression on my drums? Yes, I do. I use the MV2 and some EQ afterwards. But MV2 is really, 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 really dope for that. MV2 is a Waves plugin, by the way. Super cheap too. So, appreciate everyone tuning in, by the way. Do I care much about LUFS? It's not like I care about it. It's just that like LUFS kind of gives me a overall idea of where I'm at with things, because like usually my beats end up around like -6, -5, which is super, super, super loud. But it's easier to get that loud when you are mixing analog. If I'm doing things in a box, I'm usually around like -7, -6 ish. Yeah. Sound selection is super, super key. Yo, my boy Akilo is tapped in. Akilo, what's up, man? How do I find inspiration in anything? I don't find it. It comes to me. Like, I feel inspired by something. Like, the last time I was super inspired was when I listened to this Kendrick album, Good Kid, Mad City. I mean, you guys obviously know it, but it's just been a long time since I listened to it, and I was just so inspired, and I just went back and made some beats because I felt super inspired. But you can find inspiration in anything. You just gotta be in a good mood. Like, try to not stress about things in your life, and you'll be more inspired. That's what I think. Do you do -6 leveling compression when mixing? I'm not sure what you mean by that question, my dude. But I usually end up around -6, -5 LUFS, like when I'm mastering at that point. But I don't really like master my beats. I just like try to get them like as loud as I can without it sounding bad, you know, and without sacrificing the overall quality. Um, do I use melody buses, and if so, what do I put on it? Yes, I do. I mean, I like to use buses when it comes to melodies, especially. But what I put on them, it really varies, my guy. Because sometimes I don't put anything. I seriously mean like nothing, not even an EQ. But sometimes there's like 8 plugins going on because it needs it, right? On this one, for example, let me see. I put this guy, Soothe. I don't know if you know. I don't know if you guys can see, but Soothe. It soothes things. If you guys don't know about this plugin, by the way, you're sleeping. Like, you need to wake up because it's one of the GOAT plugins. There's literally not a single plugin that does what this thing does. So, and yes, they gave me a license, but I'm not like sponsored by. Like, I wouldn't lie to you guys. Come on, now. I wouldn't just say it just because they asked me to. Like, I'm serious. It's that shit. So, but like I do usually parallel my melodies, and I use the Neve 33609, auto release, fast attack, no limiting, and I do about 4 to 8 dB of compression. Then I put a Pultec on it and just brine the hell out of it, like just make it super super bright, and then I blend that in with the original, which is what parallel is. So that really works for melodies, like almost always. How do you apply gain to your sounds during gain staging? I'm a weirdo. I like to not touch my faders a lot. Like, even though I'm kind of like lying here, obviously, because you can see like I'm definitely touching my fader. Like, I've moved faders here, but this is production. Like, when I'm producing, it's different. Like, when I'm actually mixing, that's when I will not touch the faders. I will do everything with like a gain plugin. But there's a difference between like saturated gain and clean gain. They behave different. So you got to know the difference between the two. I would explain. It's just a lot to explain right now. You know what I mean? Appreciate you guys. Do you EQ out any low end when you parallel compress drums? No. No. Like, usually no. Did you get your daily dose of Wagyu? Not today, my friend. I can't have steak every day. Not every day. Often, but not every day. Man, sorry, there's a lot to go through here. Man, a kilo. Man, look, that shit was so funny. My stairs were getting painted back at my mom's crib, and the homie Akilo pulled up, and we're like, damn, like, how's he gonna get downstairs without getting paint on his shoes? So he climbed through the window. I have proof of this, and it was hilarious. Do I use any soft clippers on the masters, and what is my favorite soft clipper? All right, you know what? I think it's time to just flip the camera, because I may as well just go through it. Sorry. Alright, we're gonna do a little bit of a handheld situation here, so bear with me. Alright, hold up. So, oh, this is nice. This is perfect. Alright, so look. This is my master. I got a black box going on. And for anyone that's gonna like take screenshots and copy samples, good luck to you, because it's not gonna work. That's not how mixing works. You can take notes and be like, oh cool, he uses a black box. I want to see why he uses the black box, and then you add it yourself and see what it does for your stuff. But don't go copying settings, because that's what I used to do, and I found out pretty quickly that's not how things work here. So just letting you know. Then I use the shadow hills. I'm not hitting it. I'm hitting it super soft, so like I'm hitting like 1 or 2 dB of compression. So black box in itself is pretty much a clipper. Like it's pretty much a clipper. It's just that it clips things differently. It clips it as a tube clipper, if that makes any sense. Right. So then I used this guy. If you guys know about exciters, it's very cool. You just got to be very gentle with it. Very gentle. You got to treat it like a little baby, because if you don't, mama will spank you. I'm kidding. But seriously, you have to be very kind and very careful with it. As you can see, like I'm not adding that much, and I'm using the mix knob to kind of blend it in. I have a thing for threes and sevens, by the way, so I'm weird like that. Anyways, use the oversampling if you can, because it will sound better. And I love to use the tape, the tape saturation excitement on the high end, because it just sounds very sweet. Like it just makes things sound bigger and brighter without it being kind of crazy. Oxford inflator. If you have it and you use it, use the band split. It retains the low end a little bit better. FYI. And this is my favorite clipper, and I know some people are going to be like, Eastbound, shut the frig up. Don't share it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. This is it. This is the one, guys. Serious. This is the one. I also use this setting called crisp. And if you don't know about it, now you know. And it's the one, man. Like, mastering engineers swear by this. And if mastering engineers swear by something, just know it's the real deal, because they have the best trained ears in the world. And the way I use it is I actually click on this little thing, I link these two, and I push until I hear the kind of distortion that I want from it, and then I will back it off a little bit. So it's very clutch for that. And then I use this guy. Can I make it bigger? That's what every guy said. Just kidding. This thing also has a clipper built in, which is also very good. It's just different. Like I don't know how different clippers really can get. It's kind of more a different slope or a different knee. But like they have different algorithms of how they do the clipping, which is pretty cool. And if you do use it, it oversamples up to 64 times, my guy. So that is crazy. If your computer can handle it, it's very, very clean. And what's super dope about Limitless is that it's a multi-band. So if I play it, you'll see it working. That was a pretty massive fail there. Let me see.